Hey folks, this is Vagrant. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. In the last episode, we met the killer. He's confessed. We're wrangling out the motive and such at the moment, I believe. No, we're not doing anything right now. We got that one single task. We're just chatting to him, figuring things out. He's a deserter. He was a member of the communist army back in the day, and when Revishol's revolution was shut down, he slunk into the bushes. Now we're going to chat.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there.
I want to ask again about the people you don't like.
His lip curls into a sneer at the memory.
Okay, we're going to do that one, but we obviously need to put some logical clothing on first. By the cock parading in his colourful uniform, you mean Renee? We have to avoid the swearing in the first minute of the video. Apparently that's what YouTube prolifically checks for.
Every fucking morning.
What did I just say?
34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June.
He's basically just a big old gatekeeper. He's got this very niche, very keyhole idea of what the working class is and what the proletariat has to stand for, and anything that dares to slink outside of that in the slightest is the devil.
Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A patank maniac race traitor.
Last episode I said you're not racist. Let's keep that on board. I don't know about...
I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, personally. His make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the Liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one.
With his shaky finger, he points to the city, towards the crater near the plaza where a lonely pine tree stands.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
There's no one there.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Truss, shoot me.
He was a skinny, frail old dude. He wasn't a nice guy, don't get me wrong, but he was not a fat, plump pheasant.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It borders on longing.
You'd like to kill him?
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth.
I do like bonbons.
Save the treat for later.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, Renee. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel.
He lets out a wistful sigh.
Better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Do I tell him he's dead or not? Let me play through why I would or wouldn't tell him that Renee is dead. To an extent, he's suggesting that Renee's being alive, that he could potentially kill him, is one of the things stopping him from killing himself. But how's he going to kill himself if he doesn't have a gun? What am I trying to achieve? I mean, if he feels things are helpless, he may be more willing to give me the full confession details that we're looking for. So, Renee's dead?
No.
Yes.
I waited too long. I waited too long, and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Druss. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
You okay?
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days.
Okay.
Dad, we talked about what?
Let's get our logical clothes on. When I was young, that was so logical. Where's my ledger? Ledger is not logical. Okay, I have logic glasses somewhere. There we go. We're at +1 so far. Let's see what else we can do. There's my logical hat. A miracle. Scooter, are you ready? Sorry. There's a song called The Logical Song by a band called Scooter, who were huge when I was like... How old would I have been when Scooter were big? 10? Something like that? I don't know. I don't know exactly. Probably early 2000s. Scooter were pretty huge. And it was all white guys rapping and then like really high-pitched electronic stuff, and yeah, it was terrible, but has a strong place in my heart.
The old man stares despondently. His lip curls into a sneer.
Here we
at
go.
the memory. The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
20 years ago, when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't run the Union yet, did they? The sputter from the old man.
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
Who did run the Union?
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation.
Never seen our Labour leaders.
And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
Some people need an enemy, you know what I mean? Like, they'll profess to hate someone, and then when that person actually dies or is vanquished or just stops caring, they feel kind of empty. That revenge and hatred and malice drives some people inherently.
Bordering on sentimentality, it drips out of him. Tempered by something familiar to you. A familiar rage.
Just he likes hating people. You know what I mean? And he's sad when he can't do it anymore. She was also a woman, wasn't she? Like that clergy.
She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muscova bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work.
And then she just disappeared.
Called in, they say. On the eve of battle. Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
He squints and smiles at the black logs.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
You could swear you could see the embers glow again under his eyes on the dust. Edgar had someone make the call. Why is that, Mr. Dross?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Did you kill her?
Here it is. The bend in the river.
Why?
Because she was dead.
Just say nothing.
Okay, rhetoric.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled? Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home. Waddling. Dressed in yellow. Drunk like she often was. The ruins were black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her, and the ruins.
Okay, we don't say killed, we say shot. I'm not really sure why, but we say shot.
Someone shot her, or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is...
Another big spike of rage. Different from the one he has for her.
Nothing changed. Not in the material base. Not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled. Sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Nothing ever does. It's like... I talked about this before, in The Last of Us, actually. I'm not going to give you any spoilers for The Last of Us, although by the time you folks see this episode, It's not even the last episode, it's the episode before, I believe, because this is probably next week now. None of this makes any sense. But without spoilers, revolutionaries tend to do the same messed up stuff that the people they overthrow did. You know what I mean? Everyone devolves into the same madness in the end.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal.
Right, Edgar hired that's why he and Edgar were close then. Edgar hired the deserter to kill her so he could wrestle control of the Union.
If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk.
I don't think he cares about walking. Lieutenant says in a voice even calmer, as if it were nothing at all.
We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
I really don't think he's going to go for this.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
But you did do it.
I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8, 40 AM, Radio Revachol, late night.
Can I say, by the way, I really like this smoke effect. It's really nice, painterly.
Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
Really racking up these secret tasks.
The same old freezing hatred.
Glad we talked about what?
Well, is that red? No, it's white. Okay, so we can... Okay, wait. We've got 3 skill points. So what we're going to do, we're going to put on all our composure clothes, which I don't believe is many at all. If anything, I think there must have something. But the point is, we've got 3 skill points, so we can put points into it over and over for 3 times. We can give this 4 attempts if need be. Assuming something... it's a white check, so something terrible can't happen if we fail. Right? Right? Yeah. What are we on, +2? +2. Oh. +3, baby! Okay, sweet. Okay, we've got a good chance now.
The old man stares despondently at the log. For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
We're trying to assess his body language, and that's all we got?
He's clearly a drug user of the painkiller sort, prone to erratic hand gestures, and malnourished. But that's it. The moment passes, and you say...
Okay. And composure. My composure's 6 already. Like, oh wait, no, it's actually 3. And then 3 from items. It's still decent size, though. Shut up, map.
The old man stares despondently, aside from the ring.
Okay, this is fine. There's no way it would keep failing, right? It's 8 now, it's like super high. There's no way it would keep failing me. I would like to not spend all of my points on it.
The old man
I want one
stares
for something else.
despondently
Come on.
at the logs. What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild.
Oh no, that's what I should have done throughout most of the game. The danger with that, of course, is all those red checks that you can't... I think this is probably the right way to play the game, though. I think spending your skill points as soon as you get them is probably a mistake. I think if you're going to replay the game, knowing what the Thought Palace does, like all these things, knowing what these achieve, would be a big deal. Because I would have taken so few of these, it must be said. Like 3 or 4 at a push. They're interesting, but in terms of like utility, they're not great. Surprisingly okay.
Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
Animated by what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system.
Dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even. Not senile. Is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
Mr. Dross, are you on some kind of a psychoactive substance?
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
You said you take painkillers.
The lieutenant follows your lead.
I take them to cope with pain. The people of this city use painkillers because they have pain. Untreated illnesses. Not enough money for a greedy doctor.
Are you sure about him being lucid? Maybe he's just affected by an extreme case of socialism.
I think both can be true.
It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
Are you on amphetamines?
Like some kind of decadent rock star.
He doesn't dignify it with more of an answer. Okay, Mr. Dross, are you okay? How is your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
We've all been there, buddy.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
My name. I am
The commune of...
from the...
I didn't
I...
expect questions.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Been in this island for 43 years?
No. I was an aggressor. There's nothing serious in this world.
I just
Is
want to
your
double check there's nothing else
That
going
we
on.
talked about what?
Okay, I'm just going to change into my regular clothing. Balm. I think I'll keep the composure boots on. Where's my jacket? Where's my hat? Is that my usual stuff? Close enough. Oh no, the glasses need changing to those. Okay, we're ready. Let's arrest him.
The old man stares.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
That's a quick turnaround.
Do you understand?
But...
Do you understand, sir?
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror. You can't just murder people.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Perception, hearing, red check. I mean, perception is a good one. Come on, perception, don't let me down now. Are you
You
actually
thought you heard something,
fucking kidding
but
me?
it's just the reeds.
Why does this game hate me so much? It's mad. What did I roll? I rolled a 4. I needed to roll a 5. For God's sake!
Maybe we could all fit in there.
Does that have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Who watches him while I come back for you?
you come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
I can't believe perception of all things has failed me. The game, again, the game has been so harsh. I know I won a couple yesterday. A couple. But Jesus Christ.
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
Maybe I can ask that net picker to watch him? I mean, I don't know about this.
This is no harmless old man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
You could come back for me once you've taken him to the precinct.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
Okay.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this us?
The wind is cold from the east. Your skin is crawling suddenly.
My thinking was, because I'm injured quite badly and probably need to... like, leaving me abandoned on this little island, I'd probably not fare too well, whereas Kim was probably going to be okay, was my thought process. Is she in the Insulindian phasmid? Amazing!
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Oh, I love that it's real. Oh, that makes me so happy. What is that?
What are you talking about?
The giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
There is, I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reed.
Kim, can you see it?
I can see it.
Yes! Amazing!
4 simple words, thank God. If you can see, then you're not insane.
Why is this such a beautiful moment? I don't know why this is making me emotional, but it's really nice that it's real.
But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The lieutenant whispers and takes a step towards the giant arthropod. The phasmid. I wonder if you don't interact with the cryptozoologist at all, does this not happen, or does it happen and you've just got no idea what it is, or how does this play out? Hello?
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you.
It's funny, this is kind of thing. If I was a lesser YouTuber, this would be in the thumbnail, right? This would be in the title. This would be there to lure people in. Because I'm sure there's some of you at home who are really excited about this, just like me, right? People who've been playing along with me for the whole game and who haven't played the game before. This is an exciting moment. But I feel like that'll ruin it. You know what I mean? I feel like this has to be a moment of discovery for you as well when you're watching the video, rather than something you go into the video expecting. I try to keep my titles relatively obscure, generally speaking.
Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soak in your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Amazing. It's smelling me.
Maybe it is real. The pheromone.
The lieutenant's mouth is agape. I love this for Kim more than anyone else because he's been so cynical, and I feel like I identify quite strongly with Kim more than Harry, weirdly enough. And for it to turn out to be real is a nice moment.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding like lunglets, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
Raise your hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. No. Stop. Be afraid.
No.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own. They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
That's right, pray.
Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like structures, still pretending to be plants, rustle along on its joints.
One thing I'd be really curious about as well is if I go back and I look at this area, although you're not going to see it, is there any hint that it's there? Is there any movement, any suspicious little sign that there might be something hiding in the reeds?
Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
I hope not. Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand on our tippy toes.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell, like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
Lieutenant watches you apprehensively. What you mean is venomous, Kim. Venomous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Spoke to the hanged man. Did not give up on the phasmid. Knows of parthenogenesis. We didn't give up. We kept trying to the end. I mean, at the scene in the hotel, we kind of gave up, but that was more for Lena's benefit. I think she needed a break. Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
Yo, I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Fire burning
Fire? Where?
inside.
I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not even blood, but lymph, like sap from a one palm. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist,
Intruded upon by what?
shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never burn.
The fuck is happening to me right now? You're the type of animal I would like to be.
Are you sure?
Yes. Why do you ask? Are you going to turn me into a phasmid?
Sometimes, when molting, I regrow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna.
That's cool.
No, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk.
You don't have a foot there now?
Yes, thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again.
I'm so happy for you. I am a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
The killer.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
I'm not saying this out loud, which is interesting. You see there's no speech marks. So this is clearly a psychic link, or I'm losing my mind.
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
It's like, it's a little, it's not quite the same, but it's like a What's it called in Doctor Who? There's like a thing where it makes a thing look like a different... It's like a perception filter, basically. So she is able to fuck with his head so that when he looks at her, he can't really make her out. But because he's been here for so long, and she has to keep doing it to remain hidden, which is how they survive, as we've said, it's killing him. So that's what's wrong with him. It's not dementia, it's not drugs, it's the initial Indian phasmid. Is this a dream? What is happening?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Where does this come from? All this around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
Perhaps it's sent to us by a god?
I think we should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Or read. Yum yum.
I like this philosophy. What is the world? I don't know, but let's eat it anyway.
Wait, so
You look like a reed and you eat reeds?
Yes, they don't mind.
Have you accidentally eaten another reed phasmid?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh no, I love you. What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Interrogating Isoma. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys.
it may have unknown, dangerous biochemical characteristics that help it maintain its camouflage.
No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Samanese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
It's a very knowledgeable phasmid. Are you poisonous? I don't mean poisonous, I mean venomous.
Yes, I do not have a starter display, so I use a neurodegenerative element to aid in camouflage. Do not worry, it is only destructive over long periods of time.
The deserter. He's been here for a long time.
Well, that's insane.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system, ominously new to the planet.
It's very true. Yeah, people freak out about sharks and crocodiles, but they've been here a lot longer than we have. We are the invading species. I mean, we invaded via evolution, but still.
The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
The Pale was wrought by humans?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
That could be. Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
I will be extra careful not to blink, stick insect. Don't worry.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh, and open them to see that None of this ever existed.
I just blinked. I'm nervous. Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
Sort of.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
I'll try.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay, Kim, take the picture.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I'm not shooting my phasmid.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
That's beautiful.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photopaper in his hand. A polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds in the sky, and you as a shadow before it. Carefully pet its scythe-like forearms.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning!
No, screw it.
A small shudder passes the creature's arm. High above you, its black pearl eyes still glisten, mesmerized by the light passing its nervous system. There is some kind of countdown happening as it slowly processes the overwhelming brightness of the signal. The invertebrate is regaining control.
I don't see a world where I'm not going to click reach out and touch the creature's whisker.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the kiting curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. The sensation is electrifying, resounding through your body. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet. Looks like someone's got hurt in a fight. This antennae is much smaller than the other one.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Look at your finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
I'm doing it. Lick your finger.
It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike.
Kim must be losing his mind.
Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
Okay, we got it.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you. As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
See you later, buddy.
And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
Lieutenant looks north with his hand raised to his brow. It can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What did it leave behind?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He puts his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black.
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
What have we got here? Ah! The helmet! And, it's the stuff from the guy who died at the fight. And the passport! Okay. Creepy.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
Classia's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
It's Klasia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow.
The phasmid stole the passport all this time. I guess, I mean, you know what, but I've got to voice all the thoughts I have. Like, even as a YouTuber, and like, that's what you do naturally. That's 99% of what YouTubing is. From my experience, it's just, I have a thought, I'm going to say it out loud, and you train yourself to voice everything that passes through your brain. And that's why I often go off in tangents, and I'm most often talking nonsense, because if it pops up in my brain, I'm going to say it. But I recall thinking, I'm not saying it naively, when the boy was first checked, when we first discovered it was in the reeds. Actually, it was probably in the first episode that I deleted. Well, the recording crashed. It's a little weird that it's in the reeds and it's next to the area where we were checking for the phasmid. It was in my head. It was in my head. What's this doing in the phasmid's nest?
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or
I think the phasmid took it.
like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual. I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod.
It says Katarzyna Alazie.
She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
Katarzyna Alazie was supposed to be her real name, where Klasia comes from. Remember? God damn it.
Katarzyna was supposed to be her real name. She lied to us.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us. One more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now.
She did lie constantly. Lying's like breathing to her and to lots of people. What's her real name then?
I don't know. But it's not Katarzyna Alazie or Klasia or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
Okay. Hello again. We need to arrest you, buddy.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
You have to go. I'm sorry.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the phasmid?
See.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking, like an addict of some terrible substance.
Touch his shoulder gently.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem. Doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
Leveled up again. No! What's happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
I think it's the phasmid.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
Interrogate, I talked to the phasmid, okay?
Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
I talked to the phasmid. I'm going to tell him I talked to the phasmid.
You should be more careful, Detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you?
Maybe. Anyway, it's only trying to remain unseen. The degradation is a side effect.
A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, Detective.
Psh! He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just a read for him.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross.
He touches the man's shoulder.
No response.
Maybe this is how the phasmid has stayed hidden all these years.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it...
You forget it's like the silence.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
Before, when I evaluated his state, he seemed strangely animated.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
Perhaps this animation is induced by something in the phasmid.
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
He takes off his glasses and cleans them. When he puts them back on, he's still staring at the sea. I think he's addicted to that thing.
Like a drug?
He has displayed addict behavior, and not just to painkillers, but also to communism. The biggest drug there is.
His pupils appear to be dilated. They still are.
He examines the catatonic man's eyes. Could it be there's something hormonal in a relationship to the phasmid?
You mean pheromonal?
He seems a little off for a man his age. Randy. Hey. No reason you should hit, 70 and cease to exist sexually.
The scope, knowing of her bruises, his disposition toward Miss Orania. I see what you mean.
He's been here for a long time. He knows how much of it in his company.
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place. And the insect, maybe.
It's going to make for a hell of a police report.
I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
Just said that, Kim.
No one would believe you without it.
We found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Helmet.
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is. The last embers have gone out. The war is over.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
Show him the passport.
No reaction. His breathing is slow, and he appears very old all of a sudden. Around 80. This is an old man, at last. No longer a tin soldier, but the broken down remains of a man.
Did you take this passport and other papers from the boy on the course?
The spirit.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply. He's gone again.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
Scope.
I lost.
You lost it, Mr. Dross?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid?
The lieutenant observes the lens sparkle in your hand.
This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
Yeah, time to let him rest, I think.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here.
Okay. Use the boat to return to the mainland. This game is going on. I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong, but I absolutely expect it to be done by now. I'm not gonna lie. And I talked to the phasmid for half an hour, so I don't know. I feel like he's not going to be alive, you know? I feel like this is the end for him. But we'll see. Without the phasmid around, I don't get the feeling he's got much to live for in a way. Also, what was the point in this? Oh, it was... Yeah, okay.
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Kim, what is the ICM?
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The black and white army of the revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
RCM.
It does.
Why?
The RCM may descend from the ICM.
May?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics, with blood dripping down your thigh.
A little embarrassing in 51. No, maybe we need a rebrand.
No one remembers the ICM. The connotation is less important each year.
White Star. Is this about the, Is this about the fuel canister?
No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
Are the Spec stars too?
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
Love the music. Do, 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 do. Looks old.
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
I think he must have seen something in particular. I'm not seeing anything with the White Star. That's why I'm curious. I don't know if leaving him is the best idea. I'm not super on board with this idea personally, but it is what it is.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
Let's go.
Let's. We are done here.
Whip out the boombox time.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet.
What about the smallest church in Sanson?
But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.